So, you want to become someone else. Not disappear, not fake your death, not break a single law. You want to walk into a government building as one person and walk out as another, with a new name on your driver's license, a new number from Social Security, and a legal right to never answer to your old name again. Here's the part that should surprise you. You can do that today, in any state, for as little as $150. And here's the part that should stop you. A new name does not give you a new life. It gives you a new problem. Because the United States was not built to let people start over. It was built to make sure nobody ever can. Let's price out every piece. The foundation of a legal identity change in America is a court-ordered name change. That's it. No secret agency, no underground contact, a form, a filing fee, and a judge. The court filing fee is the main cost, and it varies dramatically by state. In California, you're paying around $435 just to file the petition. In Texas, roughly $300. In New York, about $210. In Kentucky, you can get it done for under $200 total. But the filing fee is not the price. It's the deposit on the price. Because in most states, including California, New York, and Illinois, you are required to publish a notice of your name change in a local newspaper. That's right. The government requires you to publicly announce that you are changing your name before it will let you do it. The publication fee runs $40 to $150, depending on the paper. And yes, this means your old name and your new name appear side by side, in print, in the public record, where anyone, including the person you might be trying to get away from, can read it. We'll come back to that. It's important. After the court approves the change, you need certified copies of the order. $5 to $25 each, and you'll need at least 3 to 6 of them because every agency you deal with next is going to want to see the original. Now comes the cascade. A new driver's license, $20 to $60. A new passport, $30 to $190, depending on whether it's a renewal or a fresh application. Updated Social Security card, free, but requires an in-person visit. Birth certificate update, $10 to $30, and some states won't do it at all. Bank accounts, credit cards, insurance policies, voter registration, car title, professional licenses, medical records. Every single document that has your old name on it needs to be changed individually. One phone call, one office visit, one form at a time. For a straightforward case where you file the petition yourself, the all-in cost is typically somewhere between $150 and $500. If you need an attorney, which gets more likely if your case involves a minor, a criminal record, or a safety concern, add $500 to $1,500 on top. So, the total realistic range for a legal name change in the United States is somewhere between $150 and about $2,000. That's the easy part. And that is all most people will ever need because most name changes in America happen for completely ordinary reasons. Marriage, divorce, personal preference. About 84% of women in opposite-sex marriages change their surname. After a divorce, many change it back. Neither of these requires a court petition in most states. Your marriage certificate or divorce decree is the court order. But you didn't click on this video because you're getting married. You clicked because you want to know what happens when someone needs to become genuinely untraceable, when the name change isn't cosmetic, when it's survival. So let's talk about the version of this that actually matters. In 1997, the Social Security Administration quietly created a procedure that most Americans have never heard of. If you are a victim of domestic violence, stalking, harassment, or abuse, and you can document that your life is in danger, the SSA will issue you a brand new Social Security number. Not a corrected one, not a transferred one, a new 9-digit number that has never existed before. The application is free. There is no fee. You walk into a Social Security office with your identity documents and evidence of the threat, which can include police reports, medical records, restraining orders, or letters from shelters, counselors, or anyone with direct knowledge of the abuse. In 2021, the SSA loosened the requirements. You no longer have to prove your abuser is specifically misusing your old number. You just have to show that you are in danger. And then you get a new number. And the nightmare begins. Because here is what the Social Security Administration does not tell you on the form, and what most people don't find out until it's too late. Your new Social Security number comes with no credit history. None. Not a reduced one, not a damaged one. 0. You are, financially speaking, a newborn. FICO will not even generate a credit score for you until you have at least 6 months of activity on the new number. Some models require longer. During that time, you cannot get a mortgage, an auto loan, most credit cards, or an apartment that runs a credit check. And your old debts don't disappear. They're still attached to you. The SSA cross-references your old number with the new one internally, so your earnings history carries over for Social Security benefits. But the credit bureaus don't automatically merge the files. Your old debts exist in one file. Your new empty history exists in another. You now have to contact every creditor, every bank, every institution, one at a time, and manually update your records. If you're a domestic violence survivor who just fled your home with nothing, who may have no job, no savings, and no safe address, this is the system you are asked to navigate. The government will give you a new number for free. Building a life on that number will cost you years. But there's another layer, because a new name and a new Social Security number still leave one enormous gap. Your address. Your name is on a court order. Your Social Security number is in a federal database, but your home address is in dozens of public records that you have never thought about. Voter registration, vehicle title, property tax rolls, court filings, business licenses, school enrollment forms for your children. Every single one of these is searchable, and every single one of them can lead someone directly to your front door. This is the problem that address confidentiality programs were built to solve. As of 2025, 45 states plus the District of Columbia operate some version of these programs, often called Safe at Home. The way it works is simple. The state gives you a substitute mailing address. It's usually a P.O. box at the Secretary of State's office. You use that address on all public records, and the state forwards your mail to your real location. Your actual address never appears in any government database that a member of the public can search. The cost of enrolling? 0. Every state that runs one of these programs offers it for free. But here's the problem. At least 5 states have no address confidentiality program at all. And in the states that do have one, the coverage is inconsistent. Some states protect your address on voter rolls but not on court filings. Some protect it from state agencies but not from federal ones. A 2025 study in the Washington University Law Review found that many of these programs are, and I'm quoting the researcher here, often ineffective. So, let's say you've done everything right. You've changed your name, you've gotten a new Social Security number, you've enrolled in an address confidentiality program. You've updated every document. What has it actually cost? Let's run the full ledger. Court filing and name change, $150 to $500. Attorney, if needed, $500 to $1,500. Certified copies, $50 to $150. New driver's license, $20 to $60. New passport, $30 to $190. Miscellaneous document updates, another 100 or so. Moving costs if you're relocating within your state, maybe $1,000 to $3,000. Cross-country relocation if you're leaving everything behind, $3,000 to $10,000 depending on how much you're moving and how far. New Social Security number, free. Address confidentiality enrollment, free. 6 to 12 months with no usable credit history. Priceless in the worst possible sense. Total hard cost, bottom of the range, no attorney, no relocation. Under $500. Total realistic cost for someone actually fleeing danger with legal help, relocation, and the financial rebuilding that follows. $15,000 to $25,000, and 3 years before your financial life functions normally again. And now let's talk about the version that doesn't cost you anything at all, because it costs the taxpayer instead. The United States Federal Witness Security Program, known as WITSEC, is the only system in America that will give you a completely new identity, relocate you, house you, and pay your bills while you figure out how to exist as a different person. It was created by the Organized Crime Control Act of 1970. It is operated by the United States Marshals Service. and since 1971, it has protected, relocated, and given new identities to more than 19,000 witnesses and their family members. Here is what the government gives you: a new name with full legal documentation, a new social security number, relocation to a city you have never been to, chosen by the marshals, not by you, furnished housing, a living stipend based on the cost of living in your new area, medical care, job training and employment assistance, 24-hour protection during any court appearances, and a secure communication channel so you can contact your family without revealing your location, although you are not allowed to keep the letters after you read them. The marshals take them. On average, witnesses receive roughly $60,000 from the government before they're expected to become self-sufficient. That's supposed to happen within 6 months. The annual operating budget of the entire program is estimated at around $10 million. Trials involving WITSEC witnesses have an 89% conviction rate, and no participant who followed the program's rules has ever been harmed or killed while under active protection. That's the sales pitch. Here's the fine print. You don't get to choose where you go. You don't get to tell anyone where you went. You cannot contact friends, former colleagues, or extended family outside of the secure channel. Your children change schools. Your spouse changes careers. Your parents may never see you again, and if they do, a marshal is in the room. And the program was not designed for innocent people. The founder of WITSEC, Gerald Schur, estimated that less than 5% of people in the program are completely free of criminal involvement. The vast majority are career criminals who are trading testimony for a clean slate, which means the communities they're relocated into are receiving, without their knowledge and without any notification to local police, convicted felons with new names and new driver's licenses. Various analyses have put the recidivism rate for WITSEC participants somewhere between 10 and 22%. In 1995, a police chief in Portland, Maine publicly complained that his city had become a dumping ground for criminals in the program because local law enforcement is never told when a protected witness moves into their jurisdiction. And witnesses who leave the program against advice sometimes don't survive it. Brenda Paz, a former gang member who had been helping a federal murder case, left WITSEC in 2003. She was found dead within 2 months, stabbed multiple times. 4 alleged members of the MS-13 gang were charged in her killing. So here's the final math, and it's the reason this video exists. There are exactly 3 ways to legally become a new person in the United States. Option 1. You do it yourself. You file the paperwork, change your name, update your documents, maybe get a new social security number, and rebuild from zero. Total cost: a few hundred to maybe $25,000 depending on your situation. Timeline: 6 months to 3 years before your life feels normal. Success rate: high, if what you needed was a fresh start. Low, if what you needed was to be unfindable. Because public records, data brokers, and the internet do not care about your court order. Option 2. You qualify for a state protection program. Address confidentiality, sealed court records, the works. Total cost to you, nearly zero. Effectiveness, inconsistent. A patchwork of state laws with gaps wide enough to drive a motivated stalker through. Option 3. You testify against a cartel, a terrorist cell, or the mafia, and the United States Marshals Service gives you the full package. Total cost to you, nothing. Total cost to the taxpayer, tens of thousands per witness. Effectiveness, perfect, as long as you follow every rule for the rest of your life. Catch: you have to have information worth killing for, and you have to be willing to lose everyone you've ever known. That's it. Those are the 3 doors. Here is the uncomfortable truth sitting behind all 3 of them. The United States makes it remarkably easy to change your name, a form and a filing fee. But it makes it nearly impossible to actually disappear because the infrastructure of American life was never designed with an exit door. Your social security number is the key to everything. Your credit, your housing, your employment, your medical care. Get a new one and you don't step into a new life. You step into an empty one, and you have to build every piece of it again, by hand, from nothing. The government will give you a new name for a few $100s. The government will give you a new number for free. But neither one of those things is an identity. An identity is a credit score, a rental history, an employment record, a network of people who know your name and trust you enough to vouch for it. That takes years, and it cannot be purchased at any price. Every person who has ever started over in this country, whether they were fleeing a violent marriage, a criminal past, or just a life they couldn't stand anymore, has learned the same lesson. The name is cheap. The life is expensive. And the hardest part is never the paperwork. It's the silence.